Hello and a very good evening. You're joining us live here on India Today. I'm Akshata Ananthakopal coming to you this very special edition of 6 p.m. Prime from Abu Dhabi. I'm standing right now inside the beautiful, iconic mandir that's been put up here in Abu Dhabi, set up by, in fact, the Swami Daraid Foundation. This is the BAPS Hindu Mandir, the largest Hindu temple outside of the country, outside of India, and fittingly it's here in the UAE. What you see on your screens is your first inside access, your first access inside the temple. And 2 days from now, Prime Minister Modi will be here to inaugurate, to unveil this temple. This is the main idol of Swami Narayanji, but all around this temple, there are 7 idols in all. A message also of connectivity of every Indian wanting to come here is in the sense that this isn't just a Hindu temple. It's one that brings together every religion. I'll explain how over the next half hour. 7 idols of Lord Ram, Ma Sita, of Lord Ayyappan, of Tirupati Balaji, of Lord Jagannath, all of that there in this very temple. And I'll be getting you all those images. I want to give you a sense of how beautiful the architecture also is here inside the temple. The amazing carvings, all of this done by hand. And you can see how mesmerizing it is, completely done of marble, much like the Ram Mandir, to sustain all sorts of calamities, to stay on for eons and generations and centuries to come. This temple has in fact been made without any iron, without any steel. So we're getting you your first inside glimpse of the temple right now. It's been a rainy day here in Abu Dhabi, and we're going to show you outside as well. I'm going to show you what the temple looks like from the outside, because this truly is an architectural marvel. And the Prime Minister in 2 days from now will be here to go ahead and inaugurate the temple. A quick check, a quick glimpse here of what you can expect over the next half hour as I bring you the special broadcast.
First Hindu temple rises in Abu Dhabi. The largest temple in Middle East. Prime Minister to inaugurate BAPS Mandir. UAE said to say Helen Modi.
A close look of what this mandir really looks like.
Entire Ramayana has been showed here.
India Today live from Abu Dhabi.
Okay, from the side. All right, as we get you all the live updates here from the temple, let me give you a sense of exactly what the temple looks like on the inside. Some of these idols, these murtis, have already been unveiled, and it gives you a sense of the grandeur with which this temple has been really conceptualized. It's a huge moment of reckoning for India. And why do I say that? Because what you see right now on your screens is a temple actually being built, that has been built in the Middle East, in the United Arab Emirates. And there's no doubt that as much as this is about India's culture, it's also about India's diplomacy coming to the fore, about this temple, this work of art being the result of more diplomacy, as it's being called. So we've shown you what the inside of the temple looks like. I can assure you that as beautiful as it is in the inside with all of its carvings, it's as beautiful outside as well. And as in fact we show you around here at the temple, it's been a very, very rainy day here in Abu Dhabi. So as we get you a sense of exactly what this temple looks like, I want to take you through a detailed report that I filed where I give you a 360-degree view of the temple, of the kind of architecture which you can see around me as well from the outside, of marble and sandstone that's been used in the temple completely, as I mentioned. It's the largest temple, covering about 27 acres in all, and has a capacity for about 3,000 devotees to be here, to flock together at one point. I've been mentioning how they've ensured that they embrace every culture, embrace every religion. What's a bigger message of that than the fact that this was land handed over by a Muslim king for a temple, for a Hindu temple? You had, in fact, the entire design being thought of, being conceptualized by a Christian. So they've ensured that every group is in fact brought together for this temple. I'm told it's an absolute sight to behold when night falls. So hopefully by the end of this broadcast, we'll be able to show you how it looks completely lit up. But take a look at my detailed report. As I walked around the temple, showing you the carvings, explaining the significance, a number of volunteers joined me, and singer Sonu Nigam, who's also here ahead of the temple unveiling, spoke to me very briefly about what he believes is the significance of a temple like this coming up in the United Arab Emirates. Here's that conversation and that exclusive report. I'm standing in front of the largest Hindu temple outside of India. And it's in the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi. This is the beautiful BAPS Swami Narayanji temple, which the Prime Minister will be inaugurating on 14th February. So excitement, of course, is in the air, but it's a beautiful, beautiful architecture also that's brought this temple alive. All of it made by hand, and interestingly made of marble as well as sandstone, as you can see here. And the carvings are absolutely beautiful to witness. You can see the preps are still underway here. There's a lot of work that's underway, which is why they put the glasses also right at the entrance, right inside. We're trying to show you there. You can see that there are two idols placed, covered with a white blanket. That will be opened up when the Prime Minister reaches. But you can see inside, beautifully adorned in gold. And that tells you the kind of work that's gone into this particular temple as well. But besides that, why is this temple so significant? We've told you, of course, that because it's in Abu Dhabi, it's something that's now a cultural awakening of sorts, showing India's might across the world. But in this temple, 27 acres is in fact covered in this entire area. It's huge, massive, and I can show you across, which we will do in just a bit as well. There are 7 idols also in here, and the idea is to ensure that every part of, in fact, the country of India is covered. So you have murtis, you have Lord Ram, you have Sita Ma's idol inside, you have Lord Shiv inside, you have Lord Ayyappan, an idol of Tirupati Balaji, all of that inside this very temple. And I just want to bring your focus to some of the carvings of, in fact, the temple here. All of it handmade. Remember that from 2019 right up to now, work has been underway at this beautiful, beautiful temple site to ensure that it truly comes alive in this manner. Many of you who've been to the national capital, who've been to the iconic Akshata temple, will draw comparisons. But what's unique about this temple when compared to that one is, like I said, there are 7 idols here that essentially also ensure that every part of India, every Hindu can come here to also worship the deities. It has a capacity of about 3,000 people who can be, in fact, held at one point in this area, who can come here and offer their prayers. But let me tell you about some of the features of this temple. I have with me Heenal also, who works here, who's been a volunteer working very actively on ensuring that this dream of a temple comes true and is realized. Heenal, I'm sure this is a pinch me moment for you. Yes. What's it been like, bringing this story alive? I look at the carvings and just look at this here. Can I just highlight this part right here that shows what really this temple in Abu Dhabi is about? You see sheikhs there. You see, of course, the brahmacharis there, all shaking hands. And the story of, everyone coming together to build this temple is absolutely beautiful. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so it's really been an amazing journey of infusing people from all cultures, all backgrounds, all religions, because that's what this mandir represents. It's a place for everyone to find peace, to find harmony, to come together as communities and realize fundamentally we all share the same underlying values as humans. And that's what we want to spread, that's what we want to share. And all these carvings, they really represent that. I mean, the UAE skyline, is carved into a mandir. Where have we ever seen that before? Falcons. We know our mandirs have peacocks and we have elephants, but this mandir has camels and it has falcons, because it's also a nod to where we are, in the desert, in the middle of the desert, where we've brought the holiest rivers, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. There are also Aztec carvings here, talking about...
Yeah, what's the significance of that? I understand that several civilizations also have kind of been weaved into this.
Exactly. And it's really, again, to show in every part of this mandir how it's about multiple communities and cultures, and we can learn so much from ancient civilizations. So we wanted to incorporate into the mandir all these stories that teach values, they teach lessons that...
I'll just come back to you. I see here singer Sonu Nigam Sonal, hi. Good evening. Nice to meet you. Akshata from India today. Wonderful temple. What do you make of it? First impression.
Adbhut कहेंगे, it's beautiful. I still have to go inside, but yeah, from outside, it's a very, very divine visual. And to be in Emirates and to see the love outpouring, it's kind of a sign of very divine bonding between two beautiful nations.
You've had the honor of being part of the Pran Pratishtha at the Ram Mandir. Now here for the BAPS Mandir as well. Blessed moment.
My good fortune that I am getting to. I was the first voice to be heard in Ram Mandir. I'm the last one to be seen before Modi over here.
That's a wonderful, wonderful moment. But also, what do you think this means to have a temple in the middle of the Middle East, to have a temple here in UAE?
The world is becoming harmonious. The world is becoming a beautiful place to live. This is how the world should be. The world should be respecting each other's culture, religion. And this is also symbolic of two belief systems coming together. We have 7 pillars over here, which are an ode of respect to the 7 Emirates. So it's all a beautiful give and take, and we are witnessing good times.
My sincere apologies. I know you're in a rush. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So we've seen, of course, singer Sonu Nigam also here. I understand that there will be several people who are also part of the unveiling of this temple. But when the Prime Minister comes, Hinal, and if we can go forward here to this point as well, when the Prime Minister comes, what can we expect? What will be part of the temple unveiling? What kind of, pujas? What will be the proceedings that we witness?
Yeah, well, we don't want to spoil all the surprises, and all of that will come out, and there will be a live stream on the day. But obviously everyone's excited. The Honourable Prime Minister, is very excited. He was here when it was announced that there will be a temple here. His close relationship with the UAE leadership as well. So it will be a very harmonious day.
I'm sure. Thank you very much, Hinal. Congratulations to all of you and your hard work paying off. But we just want to show you how beautiful this temple is. And words simply can't do justice to the kind of carvings and what's brought really this temple together. The architecture is simply marvelous. And there's such a positive energy that reverberates around this temple as well, which you feel when you walk around here. There are preparations underway because it's been an extremely rainy day here in Abu Dhabi. So everyone is kind of ensuring everything is put together. But you can see through the glass here that there are murtis that are placed, all covered right now, waiting for the temple to be unveiled. I'm not sure how much you can catch, but from here I can see through the glass and get a sense of how intricate the carvings are inside too. I'm sure you're also drawing parallels between how this temple looks in the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, and that's because, again, here too, it's the traditional Nagara architecture that's being followed, that's been used essentially to bring this temple to life. For the last many years, from 2019 to now, we've been seeing, of course, work on this particular temple. And there's a beautiful story also about how they've ensured that every single point of this temple has a significance. For example, the fact that also you heard from Hinal there about the message of secularism, the message of everyone coming together, which is coming through with a Muslim king having donated land for this mandir, for a Hindu temple. The lead architect is Catholic Christian. The project manager was a Sikh. The foundational designer a Buddhist, the construction company a Parsi group, and the director comes from a Jain tradition. So they've covered all religions, and that was intentionally done to ensure that the message of cultural, religious diversity also shines through with this temple, that this isn't a temple just for Hindus. This is a temple for humankind, for everyone to come together and celebrate the energy that you will feel from this very temple. So this is your first glimpse at the BAPS Swami Narayan temple, the largest Hindu temple in the world outside of India. And fittingly, because it indicates, and this is standing testament to the amazing ties right now between the Modi government, between India and the UAE. This here is a standing testament of that. So very fittingly, this temple has been built in Abu Dhabi, and the Prime Minister will be here to unveil the temple. This is your first exclusive sneak peek. With video journalist Prem, this is Akshata Ananthakopal reporting from Abu Dhabi for India Today. So the Prime Minister will be touching down here in Abu Dhabi tomorrow. He's got a packed schedule ahead. Two big highlights. One, of course, the inauguration of this beautiful temple. The other is the Alan Modi event. But besides that, what we've been seeing is that the Modi government has put a big deal of focus, really, on ties with Middle Eastern nations, including UAE, which is also translated to what we witnessed in Qatar with the release of 8 Indian Navy men. 7 of them who are back home. That's the result of the Modi government putting the focus on bettering ties with countries like the UAE and Qatar. Our next report, we decode for you what the 7th visit of Prime Minister Modi to the UAE is all about.
Abu Dhabi में आकर और आपसे मिलकर मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है और ऐसा मुझे लग रहा है कि मैं अपने दूसरे इलाके और वो भाव मुझे हमेशा प्यार और अपनापन हमेशा यहाँ मिला है.
This comment sums up the India-UAE relationship today. India's relationship with the United Arab Emirates has undergone a makeover in the last few years under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. And that's reflected in the bonhomie that Prime Minister Modi shares with the UAE Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Prime Minister Modi has repeatedly called MBZ his brother, and the chemistry between the two leaders has always been warm and personal. Since his first visit in 2015, the first by a Prime Minister to the UAE in 34 years, Prime Minister Modi has visited UAE 6 times and has also hosted bin Zayed Al Nahyan several times, the most recent being in Gujarat for the vibrant Gujarat Summit. It was a truly unprecedented event as the UAE Crown Prince even addressed the summit, a rare honor and indicative of how far India-UAE ties have come. The Prime Minister's visit to the UAE on 13th and 14th February will also be another highlight of the India-UAE story, with a slew of bilaterals and mega events lined up, including the historic opening of the BAPS Swami Narayanji Temple in Abu Dhabi. But why has Prime Minister Modi focused so much energy on improving India-UAE ties? The biggest takeaway of the relationship between the two countries has been economic. UAE has been one of the biggest oil suppliers to India, and even non-oil trade has surged. UAE is the 4th largest investor in India, and bilateral trade between the two nations is pegged at over $85 billion. There is also a massive Indian diaspora in the UAE, and the Golden Visa is an indication of how talks has helped Indians moving to the Muslim nation. On the strategic front, UAE's public bonhomie with India sends a message to Pakistan, particularly when it tries to raise the anti-India propaganda on global platform. Hugs, handshakes, even road shows. The India-UAE dosti is touching new highs with every visit by the Prime Minister to the United Arab Emirates.
And this temple that you see here is exactly a symbolic significance and shows you the significance really of how far India-UAE ties have gone. 14th February, Prime Minister Modi will be here to unveil the temple, and we'll be live on India Today, getting you all of those updates, as well as tomorrow when the Prime Minister touches down here in Abu Dhabi. That's all we have time for on this special broadcast. Thank you very much for tuning in.